Hola, todos. Yeah, we welcome you all.
Are you all bored in this pandemic? Do you want to go for a virtual tour?
Virtual tour? What is meant by that? Any idea?
Virtual tour is where you can witness the city's historical sites and stories and feel the atmosphere as if you were there. We will take you on an ancient tour and traditions of Mexico, Peru and Brazil.
Do you know who is going to take us for virtual tour?
We in the Velammal Nexus will take you for a virtual tour. Itching to travel, we have got just the thing to quench your wanderlust. Virtual interactive experiences. These experiences are privately guided, informative and unique, and we are from across the world.
We bring you a conversation that will keep the spirit of travel alive. We know this will not replace the real thing, but while dreaming of our next journey, we thought we would like to think next best thing.
On this day, we take you on a journey to explore about Mexico. Ahora te elevamos to Tour-Chichen.
Agaro Vandaparo, Parasimo, Mexico.
Now we are flying to Mexico.
Un, dos, tres, un pasito para adelante María, un, dos, tres, un pasito para atrás. Un, dos, tres, un pasito para adelante María, un, dos, tres, un pasito para atrás.
Oigan todas, the more we know about the past, the better we are prepared for the future. So, with a quote that makes us think, let's begin our tour today. Now, we are at the site of the Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is a Mayan city located in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Although it is an active archaeological site, Chichen Itza also hosts more than 2 million tourists per year. Chichen Itza was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988 and in 2007 it was voted in a global survey as one of the new 7 wonders of the world.
Where is Chichen Itza? Chichen Itza is located about 120 miles from the modern-day resort town of Cancun on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The name Chichen Itza is a Mayan language term for at the mouth of the well of the Itza. The Itza were an ethnic group of Mayans who had risen to power in the northern part of the Yucatan Peninsula. The well in the name refers to a number of underground rivers that run beneath the region and likely serve as a source of water for the city. This easy access to water made the location perfect for the city the size of the Chichen Itza. When was Chichen Itza built? Historic accounts differ as to when Chichen Itza was built and ultimately developed into a center of political and economic power. Some accounts place the establishment of the city in the early 400 AD, while others suggest the construction started a few years later. Further debate is that Chichen Itza was a significant center of political and economic activity in the Mayan culture by roughly 600 AD. By then, it was already one of the largest cities in the Mayan world and had its own suburbs, with smaller homes occupying the outskirts of the city.
El Castillo. Remarkably, given the relatively simple technology available at that time, Chichen Itza was built in an area of rough terrain that was leveled in order to accommodate the larger structures. El Castillo, the castle, is a pyramid structure. Another larger structure of the size, Las Munjas, which served as a government building, was also built on a level terrain. Itza were linked by a network of nearly 100 segments of paved streets and sidewalks. It was significant given in the European era the cities did not yet feature paved street walks. In addition, archaeologists also feel that the Mayans painted the buildings in bright reds, greens and blues. El Castillo's design is thought to relate to the Mayan calendar. Each of the 4 faces of the pyramid descends to the top platform consisting of 91 broad steps. Including the top step as an extra step, it adds up to 365 steps. cenote at Chichen Itza. A large cenote, a sacred well, located at the northern end, has an immense ceremonial and archaeological significance. Long rumored to have been the site of human sacrifice, the cenote was dredged in the early 1900s. The dredging yielded numerous precious artifacts made of gold, jade, and turquoise.
Chichen Itza as the capital. By the 9th century, Chichen Itza was a de facto regional capital with its ruler controlling most of the central and northern part of the Yucatan Peninsula. Via export at Isla Cerritos on the northern coast, Chichen Itza became an important commercial center, trading in goods, including gold and other treasures, with other cities throughout the Americas. At its height, it is believed that as many as 50,000 people lived in the city. This population may have also been fairly diverse, at least by the standards of the time, with residents immigrating from the city from beyond the Yucatan, including the present-day Central America.
The decline of Chichen Itza. Although the fall of the Mayan civilization is widely attributed to the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1492, long before then the city had well lost its place in the region. Indeed, historians believe that many of the political and economic activities of the city had shifted to a newer place known as Machu. There is some evidence that Chichen Itza may have been raided and looted, but it still remains up for debate. Still, when the Spanish conquistadors arrived in 1528, there was a thriving community living in and around the city. As a result, it was only natural for a short period of time the Spanish must have set a capital there. Chichen Itza today. Long abandoned by the Spanish and then by the newly formed country of Mexico, Chichen Itza has become a significant architectural site by the mid-1800s.
A number of important structures of the original city remain standing, sometimes to further restoring efforts on the part of the Mexican government. Among them,
El Castillo, also known as the Temple of Kulkulan, named for a Mayan deity that appears as a feathered serpent. The pyramid-shaped structure stands close to 100 feet high.
the Great Ball Court, also known as the Jugo de Pedota, is just to the northwest of the El Castillo. This structure was used for a sport, primarily a team game using a ball.
The North Temple, also called as the Temple of the Bearded Man, a small building in the adjacent to the Great Ball Court, and features a carving on its inner walls with central figure of a man with a carving under his head which represents facial hair.
The structure features a water bath and steam chamber operated by using heated stones.
Sack Bay number 1, one of the paved streets of the city that extends nearly 900 feet. Temple of the Warriors, another large stepped pyramid.
Group of 1,000 columns, a series of exposed columns that are believed to have supported a large roof system. El Mercado, a square structure at the southern end of the Temple of the Warriors that archaeologists believe serves as the city's marketplace.
Another stepped pyramid structure at the temple at its peak. Today, some 2 million followers visit the Chichen Itza annually. However, archaeologists are still at work at the site. As recently as 2016, modern-day scientists discovered a smaller pyramid inside the El Castillo using modern imaging technology. Gracias to tenga un gran día.
Hidden away for centuries, the largest Lego art statue in the world, the well-preserved Redeemer of Brazil, the colossal beautiful of Jesus Christ are the most must for travelers' bucket list.
The UNESCO World Heritage Sites origin remain mysterious. Was it a royal retreat, religious site, the lost city of the Brazilians? The Redeemer has become a boomer's list with upward of 1.1 million visitors flocking to it each year.
What is esto, amigos?
The winter awareness surpassed the origin.
Welcome to my country, folks.
Come fly with us to the next wonder of the world, atop the Mount Corcovado. Corcovado, which means hunchback in Portuguese, is in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It is 710-meter granite peak located in the Titicaca Forest and National Park. Corcovado Hill lies just west of the city center, but is wholly within the city limits and is visible from great distances. It is known worldwide for the 38-meter statue of Jesus atop the peak, entitled Cristo Redentor, or Christ the Redeemer. Towering 2,310 feet above the city of Rio, the Christ the Redeemer statue has fascinated experts and historians for nearly 100 years. It's the fourth largest statue of Jesus Christ in the world, the largest Art Deco style sculpture on the planet, and to top it all off, it's deemed as one of the new 7 wonders of the world, along with Machu Picchu, the Great Wall of China, and the Roman Colosseum. Perched on the summit of Mount Corcovado in Rio, the statue stands at a whopping 98 feet tall, and its outstretched arms reach 92 feet horizontally. Not only is the statue the most recognizable landmark of Rio, it's become a cultural icon of Brazil as well. But however, most importantly, the statue has become a global symbol of Christianity that has attracted millions of believers and non-believers to the top of Mount Corcovado every year.
The idea of designing a massive statue of Jesus Christ in Rio first came about way back in the 1850s when a local priest came up with the idea of placing a Christian monument on top of Mount Corcovado. Apparently, he had requested Princess Isabel, the daughter of Emperor Pedro II, and Princess Regent of Brazil at the time, to fund the project, but the idea was scrapped after a declaration of the Republic was declared in Brazil in 1889. A pinnacle move as it separated the church from the state in the country. It wasn't until after World War I when the Roman Catholic Archdiocese in Rio and a group of locals started becoming concerned about the lack of religious faith in the Brazilian community. And it was hoped that by placing a massive statue of Jesus on top of mountain in Rio, it would rebel against what they saw as an increasing godlessness. In the country, it was requested that the statue be placed on the summit of Mount Corcovado, so it would be visible from anywhere and everywhere in Rio, and thus represent a way of claiming Rio, which was the Brazil's capital city at that time, to Christianity.
Initially, the Brazilian engineer Heitor da Silva Costa sketched the statue as Jesus carried a cross in one hand and the globe in the other hand, and he also came up with the idea of the statue to face the rising sun from the top of the mountain.
Eventually, Da Silva Costa changed his mind and decided to design the statue into the massive Art Deco style statue that we see today, with Jesus Christ stretching out its arms wide as if to welcome the citizens of Rio with open arms. The face, on the other hand, was designed by the Roman artist George Leonida, while the statue's Art Deco design was thanks to the work of Paul Landowski, a French Polish sculptor who spent several years designing the statue into clay pieces which were later shipped to Brazil and remade with concrete.
One of the many things that baffles anyone who feasts their eyes on the statue for the first time is how the heck did the statue get up there in the first place? Because of the statue's massive size, the statue was actually put together on top of Mount Corcovado, and all the necessary materials as well as the workers were transported up the mountain on a small cog wind train, which at the time was mainly used to take tourists to the top of the mountains and the vistas. Workers used long wooden poles to act as scaffolding during the construction phase, and they actually had to scale them in order to put all the materials in the right place, a task that must have been truly daunting in every sense of the word, yet symbolized the locals' intense religious faith above all else. The Redeemer is a classic symbol of Rio de Janeiro with its long history and meaning to its existence. Even till this day, after over 80 years, it still manages to astound and amaze people with splendor. Vejo voice mais tarde, tourist tips.
Yeah, enjoy your tour, tourists.
Climb to the top of Machu Picchu without leaving your comfy couch as you walk in the steps of ancient Incas and bring you details of the classic Inca trail. If you're aching to get into great outdoors, enjoy delicious food, and would like to explore some ancient wonders, you can't go wrong without going to Peru. Our experts will regale you with the stories about the wonderful country and give you the details. Aboro en Chalos, Ashora, estamos volando a Peru. Climb to the top of Machu Picchu without leaving your comfy couch as you walk into ancient steps and bring you details of the classic Inca trail. If you are aching to get into the great outdoors, enjoy delicious food, and would like to explore more about the ancient wonders, you can't go wrong without taking Peru. Our experts will regale you with the stories about this wonderful country and give you the details. Aboro Shansalo, Centuro Arulo, estamos volando a Peru.
Fasten your seatbelts, we are flying to Peru.
Machu Picchu is a 15th century Inca citadel located in the eastern cordillera of southern Peru on a 2,430-meter mountain ridge. It took 25 years approximately to build it. It is located in the Cusco region, Urubamba province, Machu Picchu district, above the sacred line, which is 80 kilometers northwest of Cusco. The mountain in the background is the actual mountain of Machu Picchu, and here we see the sacred river called the Vilcanota. For most speakers of English or Spanish, the first C in Picchu is silent.
Most archaeologists believe that Machu Picchu was constructed as an estate for the Inca Emperor Pachacuti 1438 to 1472. Often mistakenly referred to as the lost city of the Incas, it is the most familiar icon of the Inca civilization. The Incas built the estate around 1450 but abandoned it a century later at the time of the Spanish conquest. Although known locally, it was not known to the Spanish during the colonial period and remained unknown to the entire world until the American historian Hiram Bingham brought it to the international attention in 1911. Much of the farming done at Machu Picchu was done on hundreds of man-made terraces and were a work of considerable engineering built to ensure good drainage and good soil fertility.
To make the most of your trip, you will want to know the best time to visit Machu Picchu in order to avoid crowds, plus the best way to get there, and which type of ticket you should buy. For help planning a trip to Machu Picchu, use these comprehensive tips.
The best and the busiest time of the year to visit Machu Picchu is between July and October, when the weather is typically dry and pleasant. If you're planning your Machu Picchu travel between this time period, prepare for crowds and make sure to book tickets and tours well in advance. The rainy season runs from November through March or early April, with downpours at their peaks between January and March. The Inca Trail is closed each February for maintenance. If you're looking to avoid most of the crowds without risking too much rain, visit Machu Picchu during the months of April, May and June.
The most popular way for adventurous travelers to reach Machu Picchu is the famous Inca Trail, which takes you on a 4-day trek through the mountains and directly to the ruins. For those who don't have time and fitness to conquer the full trail, there is a 2-day version of the Inca Trail that's shorter and easier. Machu Picchu was built in a classical Inca style with polished dry stone walls. Its 3 primary structures are the Intihuatana, the Temple of Sun and the Room of 3 Windows. Most of the outlying buildings have been reconstructed in order to give tourists a better idea of how they originally appeared. By 1976, 30% of Machu Picchu had been restored and restoration continued.
Machu Picchu was declared a Peruvian historic sanctuary in 1981 and a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983. In 2007, Machu Picchu was voted one of the new 7 wonders of the world in a worldwide international poll. Though Machu Picchu is considered to be a royal estate, surprisingly it would not have been passed down for the future succession. It is possible that most of its inhabitants died from smallpox introduced by travelers before the Spanish conquistadors arrived in that area. It is estimated that about 750 people lived there, with most serving as support staff who lived there permanently. Shrouded by mist and surrounded by lush vegetation and steep escarpments, the sprawling Inca citadel lives up to much expectation. In a spectacular location, it is the most famous archaeological site on the continent, a must visit for all visitors to Peru. Like the Mona Lisa or the pyramids, it had been seared into our collective consciousness, though nothing can diminish the thrill of being here. This awe-inspiring ancient city was never revealed to the conquering Spaniards and was virtually forgotten until the early part of the 20th century. We can see that a giant cataclysm struck Machu Picchu in the distant past before Inca times and pulled all of these stones apart.
Studies show that according to skeletal remains, most people who lived there were immigrants from diverse backgrounds. The diets are composed of varying levels of maize, potatoes, grains, legumes and fish. But the overall most recent diet of these people was composed of less fish and more corn. It shows corn is a larger portion of food intake.
Animals are also suspected to have immigrated to Machu Picchu as there were several bones that were found not native to that area. Guinea pigs and llamas were also found. The song Kilimanjaro from the South Indian Tamil film Endiran 2010 was also filmed in Machu Picchu. We hope you all enjoyed this virtual tour.
Stay tuned. We shall meet
In the next virtual tour.
At Velammal Nexus YouTube channel.
Obrigado. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
We will meet you soon.